The fish are gonna get smacked down.
Oh, I still got shit on here. Right. So we're gonna do a little catch and cook action. We got 3 different species of fish. We have the common porgy, Scup Johnson.
I'm gonna start with the scup, right?
We're gonna start with the scup. We have a ceviche in mind for this guy. We also have the uncommonly eaten sea robin, which I have no idea what we're gonna do with that yet, but they are delicious. There's just many different ways to cook them. Just a lot of people don't actually know that you can eat them, and they're good. And we also have frigate mackerel.
Yeah, frigate mackerel.
So we're probably gonna end up smoking those and putting those in some sort of brine. And we're not gonna end up cooking those right now, but we will keep you updated on what happens with those. So we're actually just gonna go through step by step on like the filleting process. So with the scup, usually, how do you start?
Cut behind the gills.
And I mean, we do it 2 different ways, but
yeah,
it all gets the job done. So yeah, cut behind the gills.
Straight up against the back.
And you come down the back along the spine. Not a lot of people fillet scup because they're tiny.
Yep.
But they're actually really easy to fillet. When you get towards the end, you kind of just stab yourself and blast right through. And you peel back along here, and you can see that there's all the ribs inside, and you want to kind of just keep your knife tight along those ribs while you're lifting up on the meat, exposing new areas
Straight to the
fillet. Same thing on the other side. Watch out for their spines on their back because they are very sharp, as you can see my pointer finger right now.
Are you bleeding?
Yeah.
They got you.
Here, straight through. Blast right through it.
Huh?
You kind of see what's going on in their stomach, like, and all that. This guy was eating my crippled herring, as you can see right here. I'm just kidding.
Imagine.
I actually broke off on this one. Pretty good. Clean up around the ribs. Gotta get all these bones out of here. Yeah, the secret to the skin is kind of take your fillet knife and you ditch some of this right here on the back side, so that you have somewhere to stick your nail and your finger. And you come down along and you kind of want to lay it flat so that the knife lays flat. You just kind of move it back and forth. Slice along the skin line. You can push down and angle towards the skin. Sometimes it all depends. If you're cleaning this fish and you notice it has like a really gnarly bloodline, which you always bleed your fish, but
give it the hover.
Some people can do the hover. Yeah. You just hover it up a little bit above that line, and as you make the cut, it actually, as you can see, I just did it there. It leaves the blood behind, but I'm really not that picky, and it's all going in the ceviche. So
yeah, we trim the bloodline in the ceviche anyway. It doesn't even matter.
Pull it out like that. But yeah, well, when we're done with this, after we take all the bones out, we stick them in ice cold water. Well, ice cold salt water would be ideal from Block Island, water. But we use ice cold salt water with just regular sea salt that you can buy at the store, and obviously water from your tap. Yep. Pin bones are located right here. If you run your finger along this line, you can feel where they kind of stop over here, and you just slice down either side. Ditch those. I mean, we do the same process for all of our fish that we're gonna eat. What we do is we bleed the fish immediately and put it directly on ice and then into our cooler, which is usually full of ice and salt water. So it's like a nice salt brine, and it freezes everything and preserves it till you get home. So these things are actually cold, like very cold to the touch right now. Yes, sir. So you take these, put them in here in the shade, and we're gonna start on the robin.
You want to start with robin?
Yeah.
All right.
The broker. Break the rigger. This guy's frozen. This is a tank, dude. He's got ice in his mouth. What do you want, robin on the rocks?
Yeah, both of them do. Oh, yeah.
To do it.
For sure.
It's vertical. Yeah. Because they're a weird shape. If you turn them sideways, they're all kind of like rocking around. You can actually just take these things and lop the whole tail off and put them on the grill when they're fresh, and they're actually very good. But we're going to do something with the meat.
The meat actually looks a lot like blackfish.
Yeah, it's very similar to tautog. You can actually see that, like, when we open it up, you can see that there's like a black flake from their diet in there, which usually means mussels, crabs and stuff. But
For blackfish, at least.
for blackfish, I don't know what these
blackfish
guys typically eat besides gulp and crippled herring.
Besides
And everything
I put
that
down
we
there.
throw down there. And make sure you don't puncture the stomach. There's nothing worse than puncturing bile into your meat.
Yeah, that's not a good deal.
It's the worst. Same thing. You can imagine this sideways. You're just running the knife along this spine, nice and tight. And they have that weird rib cage that kind of wraps around. I just blast right through it and deal with it later.
Yep. Exactly. Insane.
Make sure your knife is nice and sharp. And again, don't cut through that stomach because that's the end of everything.
A lot of people say they have like no meat, but honestly,
No, there's plenty of meat in these guys.
zero. Skin and these are the same thing anyway,
Yep.
so.
And you just skin them exactly the same. Same deal.
The Scup.
And you want to put these in your neighbor's trash can, all the carcasses, so you don't have to deal with the smell. I'm pumped about filleting the little
Yeah, I'm
mackerel,
not
dude. I have no idea what to expect here.
gonna, yeah, dude.
We're gonna leave the skin on for this one.
Okay.
Rib. Done. Yeah? Okay.
Some little hardtail
All right.
action.
We've never filleted these, but I'm assuming they are very similar to bonito. Look how cool, look how crazy this fish is.
They literally look like
Check this
tiny
guy
false
out. They're
albacore.
Look at, they
So
even
cool.
have
They have that pattern.
the spot where their fin just tucks away. So they're so, I guess, hydrodynamic.
streamlined,
They're just, everything about this thing is built for speed, except it's got a little tail, a little dink tail.
Yeah, they look like tuna all the way through until you get to this tiny little mackerel tail.
Right? I feel like this should be, if this was twice the
Yeah.
size, it'd probably be the fastest thing in the ocean.
Seriously, they're already crazy fast.
Nuts.
You'll see in the video.
I'm wondering if these guys, if you wanna come down the middle like the,
Like half of
when you
one.
do the tuna, I don't know. We'll see. We're just gonna cut it open and fillet it normal because we're gonna smoke it anyway. So.
It's right behind that. Very
Oh my God, it's still blood.
Really?
Wow, check that out.
Oh my god, the meat looks super good in this.
Yeah?
Super good. Yeah,
We'll
we'll see
see.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but
Oh no.
that's all bones.
Check this out.
I'm in a spot where there's usually. Oh yeah, no, there's a good bloodline in this.
Oh yeah.
For
Oh yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah.
looks just like an albie.
Yeah. Well, first off, they're
soft.
super easy to fillet. Yeah, it's just a huge layer of pin bones.
Check this out.
Actually, that's
Wanna try raw?
Negative.
Nah.
I mean, I will.
Nah, I don't really want it.
Yeah.
Not with this one. We should have gutted it.
Yeah. I mean,
Look at that.
dude, we should put these right in. Oh, nice.
Do we want to get rid of any of this?
Huh? Yeah, later on we're gonna put it on the smoker,
Yeah?
probably. Yeah.
All right, we'll clean this up after.
But the fillets end up like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very bony. They're very bony, but that top part looks good. Well, the thing is, I didn't go too super close to this. When we smoke these, if we cut out this middle part right here, that is all bloodline through here. Straight all the way through, that's bloodline. But if you look on the side right here.
Yeah, you can see the meat.
You can see that's all good meat right here. It honestly looks like bonito or any other tuna, but yeah, we're probably gonna have to just trace that bloodline out.
Something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys a piece of and then there's some bones running towards the back of the tail, but
Yeah.
actually most of the
Oh,
bones
no, it
are
looks
in
pretty
that bloodline. Let me get it right in this ice.
Yep. Yeah, we'll clean this up a little bit later too. So.
It's pretty much look like false albacore. So this might taste like shit, but we'll see.
Yeah. We're gonna brine those things and then let them sit probably for a lot of hours, like maybe overnight, 24, maybe 48. I'm gonna look online and see what a good recipe is for these guys smoked, but I do know that they're an oily fish.
They're looking super oily.
Oily fish usually are really good smoked, so I gotta go for it. I gotta try at least one of everything we've ever caught.
We will try.
So we're gonna move on over to the ceviche and clean up over here and then get started on that. What we're working on here is we're gonna work on a scup ceviche, where you essentially take the scup, cut it into pieces, and then you cook it in lemon juice. So it's not actually cooked in fire at all, or seared or at all. It just cooks in the lemon juice. And then you mix an avocado, mango, onions, a couple peppers. We're gonna throw a jalapeno in there and some corn. You mix it all together, and you eat it with some chips. And it's
like that.
phenomenal. You cannot beat this. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna cut up all of this stuff, but we're not gonna make you watch that.
Yeah, I don't need to see that.
So here it is. Somehow. And then we'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna do a bunch of different weird things.
Yeah.
And then like, there you have it. All set. So next step here is what we do is we're gonna cut the scup up into cubes that are probably about this size. You can do larger or smaller, however you want, but we like about this size because it all mixes in nicely. You're gonna put them in a small bowl and you're gonna cook them in the lemon juice for about an hour. What you do is you just lay the scup out in the small cubes and you cover it just so it's just over the top, so you don't have to use too much lemon juice. Let it cook for about an hour to 2 hours. Put it all in the refrigerator, mix it all together, and then eat it with chips, and it is phenomenal. Feed it to all your friends that don't know that they actually like fish and say that they don't, and they'll have absolutely no idea. And then you can tell them after. Just make sure they don't have a fish allergy. Don't get somebody killed on my account. Oh, this is what you end up with as an end result. You got these nice little cubes, a little bit of bloodline, but that's okay. This is mostly what we remove, which is like the heavier dark red stuff. It's just more fishy.
When you get hungry.
Also, yeah, make sure you portion off some of this because
you're gonna want to try that.
You're gonna want to definitely have some of this and some of that sriracha mayo handy. You do like a 50-50 mixture. If you want a little spicier, do it like, add a little to taste, but it is phenomenal. While we wait for that ceviche scup to cook, we actually gotta go to Bass Pro Shop because Andrew blew up his reel today.
You see that shit,
oh
man.
my god, if you watch this video.
I hooked into a striper and it was screaming drag, and then all of a sudden my anti-reverse decides it doesn't want to be there anymore and it rips the other way.
Terrible.
Crazy.
But we're probably gonna get real impulsive and probably buy some hunting shit also. So.
Oh, that's a very good point. We'll do that.
Yeah. After 1 to 2 hours of letting the scup cook in the lime juice or lemon juice, mix it all together, crack open your favorite bag of corn chips, and just devour because there's nothing better than this. So what we discovered was we tried a couple pieces of this frigate mackerel just seared with some soy sauce, and it's not bad, but we did remove a lot of the bloodline.
The fillets shrunk.
The fillets shrunk after keeping them in the salt brine for a couple hours. We're gonna smoke this.
There's no bloodline or anything, so.
We cleaned out all of this from what we had before. But they are actually not bad seared. It's not the end of the world. I would 100% what we
It's not yellowfin tuna.
Yeah, we're not going out of our way to ever do this again, but it's not the end of the world. So it's definitely a good smoker. It's super oily. So now we're gonna move on to the sea robin. We got something good planned for that. All right, so what we're gonna do with the sea robin is we're gonna melt some butter. We're gonna take salt, pepper, some Cajun, some garlic powder, and a little bit of Frank's Red Hot seasoning. Mix it together in here. We're gonna roll the fish in the butter and then coat it with the seasoning mixture. And then put butter in the pan, get it really hot, and sear it on both sides so it blackens. And that
shit
should do the trick. Normally you're gonna wanna use a cast iron pan, but I have no idea where my cast iron pan is, and it's miserable, but we're gonna do with stainless steel. It's probably not gonna be as good, but it'll do. We're just gonna dunk the robin in the warm butter that you've melted in the microwave, or however you choose to melt, and lay it down. And this was a tank robin, dude. He's got a huge bloodline, but
it had worms and everything in there.
Yeah, this thing had cod worms, and we've never seen that.
Nope.
Then you're gonna want to take your seasonings, kind of put them on top of here. I don't know if we have enough. We should. Let's go with enough. We go. Yeah, we're gonna want to pack it in there pretty heavy. So shake them on. You might have to make more than you made.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna probably have to make double to the other side too. So you're gonna want to pack it in. Pack it in nice and tight.
Completely covered up there.
So that when you put it on the hot ass pan, it just blackens.
Take the extra butter, put it in the pan, toss your fish in right after.
Directly on top. All of it. Do it all. When it looks like it's blackened, kind of like chicken, is when it's done. Yeah. All said and done, here's your end result. And it's delicious.
To try it in front of the camera. Like, we're supposed to, like, take a bite of it, dude.
Yeah, get a little flavor, dude. And then,
yeah. Check that out.
You just dig in.
Yep.
Oh, that's fucking phenomenal.
That's great.
That's good. Nice fucking fork, dude.